I feel like there's two type of spiritual awakening. There's the people who are like, I want to manifest money. I want to manifest $1 million business. I want to manifest a Lamborghini. And they think that they can use their mind to control future outcome without realizing that it comes from the ego in the child that is crying and screaming to get what it wants. And if the parents give the child what it wants, a couple of seconds later, the child wants something different. It's the same thing that is happening as an adult. It's the same pattern. And you're going to experience that pattern until you wake up from being in an ego chase with spiritual language. The other path is where you realize that the world is nothing for you. It's empty. That your mind, your ego will always be unsatisfied. You will never feel peace, even if you manifest $10 million tomorrow. You're gonna experience certain chemicals in your body that might make you feel good about yourself for a while, but then it's gonna come with other challenges. And all this stuff within you, your insecurity, your wounds, your fears, your shadow world, is not gonna disappear. It's still gonna be there, and it's gonna bring you different experience so that you can face it. So the other spiritual path is the path where you're guided by truth, the truth that shall set you free. You understand that the kingdom is within. There is nothing outside of you that's gonna make you feel good or good enough for you so that you feel satisfied, because the ego is empty, can never be satisfied. It's void of any spiritual intelligence. It's the path where you realize that it's not about adding things and acquiring more things. It's about letting go of everything. The false identity, the false belief about this world. And once you let them all go, just like when you're really sitting in stillness, in silence, you can finally taste peace. And that's what you've been seeking all along. But your ego is always looking at the world, chasing or wanting to change something constantly. And when your mind is at rest, you finally feel a little bit of freedom. You finally start being aligned with the truth. Be still and know that I am God. The kingdom of God is within you. How more obvious can it be? And then listen to all the enlightened teachers, not the one trying to sell you a course on manifestation, the real teachers before the internet, what they're telling you about silence and stillness and peace and consciousness and love. Whether it's in the last century or in much older texts, they all describe the same things. It's just that nowadays, the world has changed, and there's more distraction, and there's more carrots dangled in front of your ego. So it's more temptation for your ego to keep you stuck in the illusion of this world, the illusion of separation, the illusion that you are a separate body that needs to achieve something to feel better about itself. You're on a journey of realization. That's an internal journey. And one of this big realization is that you don't need anything. That this world is not truth. The truth is eternal. And you are one with the truth, the silence, the stillness. That you emerge from divine love, but when you were born as a kid, as a child, as a baby, you were conditioned by your parents that love is conditional. So you can never figure out who you really were. So all you learn is to be conditioned by chaos, by unhealed people, people who are blind because they don't know the truth. And that just create more chaos and more confusion. But if you seek the truth within your heart, placing your awareness within, using your breath as a portal to silence, and you do it every single day, 30 to 60 minutes, you're gonna start noticing your ego, the patterns, the thoughts, and you're going to create a distance so that you're no longer one with them. You're no longer one with your irritation and your triggers. Meaning you're going to start taking your power back. And you're going to be experiencing a little bit more freedom. The freedom of choosing God. And that's when you can actually start a different spiritual path that is no longer about the ego, but about your devotion to truth and to God. And you can let your love for God emerge so that you're no longer the being that was always chasing and trying to accomplish or acquire something, trying to change something. There's always something wrong to change. There's always something to fix in my life. You're not your life. You're having a dream. You can wake up from the dream. And then it's tempting to jump back in the dream because we still have an ego, but we can still create space between awareness and ego. That's when you actually experience reality differently because you have a choice. You can choose God. You can choose truth. You're no longer just recycling patterns and conditioning in behaviors and thoughts about the world, because the world is no longer your master and your priority. It's the truth, and it's serving God and understanding God and building that relationship with God in silence and in placing your awareness within. That becomes one of the most important activity in your life. Not chasing, being aware, and building that relationship with the divine love that created you, that created every being that you see, emerged from the same infinite consciousness. And then the challenge is when you go back and interact with the world is to see beyond what people say and the way they act, and try to see that beyond all of that, there's just pure awareness. The same awareness that you are, coming from the same place, but having a different dream.